What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another edition of Full Sets Reimagined. Today we have a set known as the narrow path between light and darkness. Now, in theory, you could use this with a necromancer, but in my opinion, it's definitely geared more towards a paladin, and I think is way more beneficial to a paladin than it would be with a necromancer. And in the same vein, I don't think I would recommend anybody using this if you were neither of those classes. Now, I do have some feelings on this. What I will say is I might as well just go ahead and talk about this piece first, because this is going to pertain to what I'm trying to get across here. Is this is pretty much the only item in the set that I think would actually help a necromancer, hence why I think it would be better to actually just put this on a paladin and maybe use this if you don't have a +1 to all skills ring or a +2 to all skills ring. Then yeah, if you're a necro, you could put this on if you just happen to have it laying around. With that being said, you can see that it gives you +1 to necromancer skill levels. It's going to give you +11 to decrepify and +1 light radius, which I don't think anybody out there really cares about. I really like the fact that you get access to decrepify with this ring, especially as a paladin, because decrepify is an ability that's really going to help out the paladin a lot. Now let's go. I don't have to explain that. I'm assuming you guys play Diablo 2, you understand. So let's go ahead and talk about this right here. This is the second ring that you can get. Both of these can be equipped at level 51. Now this one's going to give you +1 to paladin skill levels and give you +13 to sanctuary and -1 to light radius. So yes, these rings will cancel each other out in terms of light radius. Now you could actually maybe use this for a necro right here too. Hear me out. I know that might sound crazy, but sanctuary aura like creates that knockback field around the character. So if you're like a summoned necromancer or something like that, then having access to sanctuary aura like this might actually help you quite a bit in the exact same way that decrepify would help a paladin. Sanctuary aura could actually help a necromancer as well, which is, you know, just kind of going along the path here on the theme, which is between light and darkness. So I really actually like that. I think that's very thought-provoking of the modders to have made a set like this. I know maybe you guys think it's dumb, but in my opinion, I would much prefer a set like this that people have obviously put thought into, right, before actually releasing a set item. And I'm about to go off on a rant alert. I played a lot of Diablo 2 Median XL, and one of the things I liked about Median XL is a lot of their set items were pretty much endgame items. Now, Median XL is set up in a way to where you can barely defeat the impossible bosses. Like, that's literally the name of the difficulty of those bosses. If you go to the website, you scroll down, you would actually see that those bosses are actually very hard to beat. So you would actually need some of those sets to really push you through the end game there. And that's one thing that I'm hoping that Diablo 2 Reimagined might be able to pick up on and give us a little more of that, because although this set is relatively powerful, at the same time most of the rune words in the game are so overpowered, not that I'm complaining, but they are so overpowered that you're pretty much never going to pick a full set over having access to those rune words. For example, like Siren Song. I mean, this thing gives you 2 to all skills, faster cast rate, faster hit recovery. This has to be one of the best rune words in the game. So let's just go ahead and continue here. Sorry for that little rant. Thank you for anybody who is still around and listening to me talking right now, because I know I probably shouldn't have done that, but I have to get stuff off my chest sometimes, man. So we're going to move on to the helm right here. This is Char's Grimace of Death. Now this rolled with 268 as the defense. It has 10 to strength, 10 to dexterity, but it also is going to give you -2 to light radius. But again, I don't think any of us really care about that whatsoever. Well, let's go ahead and move to the armor piece now. And this right here is going to give you all resistances of 16, and damage reduced by 15%, which has to be one of the best affixes in the game. And at this point, I'm convinced that we might as well look at Socketed One as an affix as well, because I've noticed that a lot of these items will come like already with a socket in it. And I don't just mean randomly. It seems like most of them are actually spawning with the sockets on there specifically. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I have found two different versions of this, and both of them had one socket. So maybe I'm just extremely lucky or unlucky, however you want to look at it. But it reminds me of adamantine mail, like I was talking about in one of my previous videos, where it specifically came with 3 sockets in it. So you could basically customize a unique for yourself to make the thing even better than it was before. And I have to say again, man, that is a very, very good unique. Go find adamantine mail. Up next, we have the scepter. This is going to give you +1 to all skills, +1 to offensive auras, 15% faster cast rate, 97% enhanced damage. That's what this rolled with. 50% damage to undead, and this one comes with 2 sockets. So again, this is another item that you can actually add more to it to make it even more powerful than what you have now. For example, I would actually say that I would probably hold on to this until I found 2 unique jewels that probably have all the skills on it, because then you can make this be +3 to all skills, which would actually make this a little bit better. You do get the +1 to offensive auras on this, which is nice, but obviously that's only going to be applied to your offensive auras. So yeah, I would totally hold out until I found a +1 to all skills jewel, maybe 3 of them if you could somehow pull that off, and then that way you would now have +3 to all skills, like before anything else. You'd have +3 to all skills before anything else on here, which would make this pretty damn viable for endgame, actually, to be real with you. If you can do that, this set has the potential to be even more powerful than it already is. Let's go ahead and start putting the pieces on so we can see what happens and how the bonuses stack up. So firstly, with this ring, the one that had the necromancer skill levels on it, you're going to get 45 to life. And because you have 2 pieces on, you now have an additional 50 to life, which, yeah, that's okay. With this one, you're going to get 45 to mana. No, this does not mean that with the additional 50 to life down there, you're going to get a second 50 to life. It's just 1, so just be aware of that. Anything in the gold only gets put onto the character once. So up next, let's go ahead and throw the helm on. And as you can see, when you have 3 pieces on, you have 25% chance to cast level 1 Frost Nova when struck, and you're also going to get an additional 15% increased attack speed, and the new affix for this as well is going to be an additional 50 to mana. So they are boosting up your mana and your life. And again, I can see why a necromancer might be tempted to wear this, but again, I would have to say I think it's definitely better off if you're a paladin to actually use this right here. Let's check these right now. Okay, so with this one, you're going to get magic damage reduced by 10 as well when you have 3 pieces. And with this one, you get damage reduced by 10 added when you have 3 pieces, which is pretty damn good. So if I remember correctly, didn't we have that somewhere else? It might have been on one of these. Yeah, look at that. Damage reduced by 15 over here before we put that on. And you got damage reduced by, oh, it's just damage reduced by 10, not 10%. So forgive me on that one, but that is definitely not the way I was reading it. For a split second there, man, I thought it was damage reduced by 25%. I was like, holy crap, that'd be freaking amazing. So let's just go ahead and continue. Now we have the 4 pieces on. This armor piece right here is going to gain +1 to all skills, which is something we're really going to need, especially towards the end game or in the hell difficulty, maybe towards the end of nightmare difficulty, but specifically in hell difficulty, you're really going to be loving the fact that you have that. Looks like we got nothing else added there. With the ring, we also just gained regenerate mana of 10%. And with this ring, we do not gain anything else. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw this last piece on here. We got the scepter on there now. We have the full set bonuses. So right off the bat, we get an additional fire resist of 15%, which isn't the best in the world, but I'll take it anyways. But it's not going to make or break your character, really. Also, it's going to give us +13 to static field, which is something I think is really, really good, because you're going to gain that sorcerer skill right there. And for a holy bolt, or specifically for a Fist of the Heavens paladin, that 13 to static field can actually help you out quite a bit, because you can up the lightning damage for Fist of the Heavens. And when you do that, now that you have access to this skill, right, you're going to weaken all the monsters to your lightning damage. and you're just going to be mowing things down. I'll show you in a little bit here like how easily I can clear out. I'm in Act 5 of Nightmare right now. I haven't gotten up to Hell yet, but I mean, even in the end game here in Nightmare, like I'm just destroying stuff. Now obviously it's probably going to be a smidge not as powerful once I get over to Hell, but not really. I can pretty much guarantee once I get into Hell, it's still going to be doing that, especially if I have that 13 to static field. It's also going to add another additional 1 to 50 lightning damage, which again is really going to help you out if you're a Fist of the Heavens Paladin. So I really think that'd probably be the way to go with this set in terms of maximizing all of that stuff. Let me move my camera really quick for you guys so you can see this more clearly. There we go. All right, make sure I got that on there. Yeah, it looks like we're good. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue. And now for the full set bonuses here, we get +1 to all skills, which is something that we sorely need at this point. Also 50 to life, the 50 to mana that was already there. And then this is one thing that I really like and think is incredible about this this full set right here is you get 10 to maximum poison resist, 10 to maximum cold resist, 10 to maximum lightning resist, and 10 to maximum fire resist. And you get an additional all resistances plus 25%. So my character was already pretty much maxed out with his resistances even before I put this stuff on. But just to show you really quick what that looks like is you can look at the character screen here and you can see that my fire resistance is now at 89%, my cold res is at 85%, lightning is 85, and poison is 85. Pretty much nothing is going to hurt me at this point just from having this full set on. Now the only issue with that, to me at least, is when I put this full set on, because of the rune words that I previously had, my damage actually fell down quite a bit. But I probably don't need to be as powerful as I am. I usually like to take it slow when I play through the campaign. I know a lot of people don't. They like to rush through and just, you know, destroy everything as they're going and hope that they can get even more powerful because they're trying to farm. Me personally, I'm not really like that. I like to take my time. I like to just clear almost everything that I can find because all of the demons have to die because they're trying to invade Sanctuary, and I'm not cool with that. So I kind of don't like that it takes my damage down so much. But then again, at the same time, and I didn't think about this until right now, to be 100% honest with everybody, but that static field might actually be able to make up the difference for the damage that I just lost. And if you're interested, I will throw my other stuff back on and we will see like how big of a difference it really was. For now, let's look at everything else and see if it gained anything from putting on the full set. Other than the full set bonus with the helmet, doesn't look like you really get anything extra there. I will say though, even though level 1 Frost Nova is very low, the chance, 25% chance to cast that Frost Nova, which can slow down those monsters around you, is pretty nice. It's going to be proccing almost constantly if they can even hit you, because again, if you're a Fist of the Heavens Paladin and maybe you're using a Holy Bolt as your secondary attack, then they're probably not even going to be able to touch you at this point, man. And even if they could get to you at this point, they're going to try to hit you, and if they're trying to hit you with elemental damage, it ain't going to do anything. You know, like their best hope of taking you out would be your magic res, like how much magic resistance you have, or straight up physical damage. But with a paladin, you know, as long as you have enough points in the dexterity, which me personally, as you can see on the screen, you know, I usually tend to put my points in the dex, and then I put my points in the vitality, says I want my paladin to be really beefy and tanky, right? So, I mean, they're not really going to be able to do much to you, man. So, yeah, this set's pretty badass. With this one over here, okay, so with the full set, we actually gain an additional +1 to all skills. Let me make sure that is right, so I'm not misjudging that. All right, we'll take this back off. No, we already had the +1 now skills, so you can just completely ignore what I just said there. Nothing new. And okay, so nothing new. So nothing else actually changed after we did that except for the full set bonus. But 10 to max all res is pretty fantastic, and I can see why you would want this. So let's count up these all skills. We got 1 to all skills, 2 to all skills, 3 to all skills. That's about it. Wait, I guess you could say 4 if you include the paladin skill levels, and offensive auras would be +5. So if you could actually find 3 unique jewels that have plus to all skills on them, then you could actually have, what would that be, a +8 to your offensive auras and +8 to all skills. So yes, the potential is there for this to be pretty damn close to endgame, if not an endgame set, really, now that I think about it. But that would be only if you can find those unique jewels, which is going to be very hard for you to find. I've literally only found 3 unique jewels in the entire time I've been playing Diablo 2 Reimagined. That could just be because I'm very unlucky, or maybe I need to go out there and do some more farming. But I mean, tell me in the comments below, man. I don't think I know anybody that's found more than 1 or 2 plus to all skill jewels. You know, even though I have found unique jewels, none of them were plus all skill jewels. So this could be something to strive for in the future if you want to use this set on your paladin to make him a little bit beefier. I mean, you're a tank, man. If you got that much res, you're pretty much a tank. Even the Ubers are going to have difficulties with you if you can find a way to get prevent monster heal on something else, which I'm sure you can. There's got to be another way. I just haven't looked into it for the purposes of this video, but there's got to be a way out there for you to be able to do that. Now, really quick though, I will show you what I was talking about with the damage thing, which was my only real gripe with this set, because all in all, I think this set is pretty fantastic. But so let's get my glory back on. Where was I? Okay, yeah. Got glory, but not on Siren Song. Look at that. Now I'm up. So yeah, my Fist of the Heavens is up to 4,400. So I literally just gained 400 damage just from putting that on. This is a really low level rune word right here, knowledge. I'm only using this because I want that 20% to experience gained. But even though I'll put that on right there, didn't really do much because this one also had +1 to all skills. We're on my rings. Here we go. I used that for the faster cast. I actually just lost some damage, and I used that one for the faster cast too. So you know what? Yeah, it really isn't that bad. Now that I'm like sitting here face to face with it, looking at it, I guess I'm only really losing about 200 damage, but I am gaining all of that all res. So I might actually even just say screw it and actually use this, because that's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. Get all this back on there. Yeah, because with the simple fact that I actually gained the static field there, it probably would be more beneficial for me to actually wear this. So I take back my previous criticism, and that's what's fun about doing these videos like this. So yeah, I think this is an amazing set, and anybody who plays a paladin out there might actually want to go and find this one. And yeah, I mean, this was pretty good. Good video too. I can't believe I've been talking for that long. And if you enjoyed the video, then please like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on the next video. And for anybody who's still here, I want to start doing some like challenge videos. So my idea for the first one is I want to actually see if I can beat the game as a barbarian, but with sheer force. So I would limit myself to only being able to put points into bash and melee mastery, and every other skill that I could use would have to come from a rune word or an item. And I'm pretty sure it can be done, but I just think it'd be fun to watch that journey. So if you have any suggestions actually on other types of videos like that you might want to see me do, please let me know in the comments below. And also, if you have any suggestions for how I can beat the game as a barbarian with sheer force without using all kinds of crazy skills or anything like that, please let me know in the comments below. I will read those, and I might even take some of your guys' ideas and use those as ideas for videos in the future. So thank you, everybody, and everybody have a great night and late. Now let's go ahead and move on to the armor piece. This, by the way, has a socket which is freaking amazing. Char's Carapace.